2024 has been awful for the adult film industry. Recently, adult film stars have been dropping like flies. Cagney Lynn Carter, dead at 36 from taking her own life. Sophie Leone, dead at 26 from a suspected homicide. Jessie Jane, dead at 43 from an overdose. Thina Fields, dead at 24. At the time of this video being recorded, Emily Willis is in critical condition from an overdose and her family is expecting the worst. It seems like every week I've been hearing about some adult film star just randomly dying. So what the fuck is going on? Or better yet, what is going on in the industry?
Not gonna lie, bro. I don't know what is going on. I have been seeing a lot of them coming up in the news or on Twitter, passed away or in some form of serious condition. Bro, I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand the level of trauma they go through, from that industry, the things that they have to endure, especially the ones that are assigned to those big production companies like Brazzers or what Black or some of them. You know, it really takes a toll on you emotionally. So I can understand, but to see so many of them going down, bro, it's concerning. It's scary.
Well, the adult film industry is probably one of the worst industries to work in ever. Now, that really shouldn't be too surprising. An industry as gross and obscure as porn being a really weird place to work, I mean, no surprise, right? But people don't really seem to grasp just how awful this industry really is and the genuine terrible effect it has on people and on society. So let's cut the bullshit and just get right into it. So, how exactly is the industry connected to all of these deaths? Well, I think a good start is looking at one of the people that I mentioned earlier, Thina Fields. Now, months before she died, she talked about facing serious abuse in the adult industry. It is very difficult to be a woman and create adult content when society is literally in shit. At 24 years old, she was found unalive in her home. But one of the weirdest things is that the cause of her death was not really made available. Now, when interviewed about her death, her friend and fellow adult film star Alejandra Sweet said that I can't really share too many details right now because I'm saddened by the news. Now, the production company that she was signed to, Milky Peru, released a statement on their Instagram dedicated to Thina. We still can't believe this. We refuse to be without you. We would like to see you one more time. We hope someone wakes us up from this bad dream. You will always be in our hearts. Thank you for allowing us to be part of your life. And this is the same production company that she was facing all of this abuse from at the time. It's pretty suspicious behavior, don't you think? Now, I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist here, but maybe, just maybe, it was an inside job. Nah, I'm just kidding. I don't think it's gone that far, but it's still kind of fucking weird. Now, Thina is not the first to open up about the dark side of this industry. In fact, almost every single major adult film star that you can think of has opened up about the abuse, exploitation, and the serious consequences of it. Lana Rhoades, one of the biggest stars out there, has talked about being forced to do certain scenes that she really did not want to do.
Right, because when she left the industry, or rather took a break from it, she opened up about how she felt about doing some of those gross scenes where she got like golden showers and stuff, had to do stuff in her own vomit, all type of gross stuff, bro. Um, Podcast is probably still on YouTube if you want to watch it, but yeah. So basically, based on what she said, she's just one of the many that really stepped forward and, expressed themselves about the challenges that they face working in such an industry. I remember, what's your name again? Bruh, Riley Reed. I remember Riley Reed was on, I think it was a live stream that she was on, and she was expressing how she had this boyfriend and he wasn't affectionate to her, whereas like whenever she came home from work, he didn't want to kiss her, stuff like that. He didn't want to be seen with her in public and stuff like that. And I mean, shit like that definitely take a toll on people because everybody wants to be loved, everybody wants to be wanted, everybody wants to feel appreciated. So when people treat you like you're an alien, like you're not a part of the society, it takes a toll on you, bro, because it feels like you're alone and it feels like nobody wants to to be around you or support you. That's just how it feels, and that can be suffocating, and it definitely fucks up a lot of people's life. So I get the fact that they're really stressed and stuff like that. But outside of that, they do face a lot of abuse, man, because when they don't want to do scenes or they're not feeling well, just because they, signed a contract, they have to put out the work to fulfill that contract, regardless of how they're feeling. And that's just how it is, man. It's not right. I don't support it, but what can I say?
During my short stint in porn, the really extreme acts were what was popular, and that's why, being the #1 performer in the industry at the time, everyone wanted to make money off me, so they pushed me to do these things. And it just gets really extreme, like you were saying, abusive. I don't want to go into too much detail. Like, honestly, some of my experiences are really humiliating for me, and I wish that they never happened.
Many adult film stars, both male and female, are often forced to do scenes that they really do not want to perform. Now, not every job is perfect. In almost any job that you want to be successful in, you have to do things that you don't want to do. Actors often have to take roles that they don't really like that much in order to boost their career and get recognition. But if you're trying to get your foot into the adult film industry, you don't really get a say. Many scenes often require doing extremely gross and painful things in order to get the job. I'm not gonna describe any of those things, but I think you can use your imagination. Now, a lot of these girls start in the industry when they're young as 18 years old, as a matter of fact. But oftentimes, many are recruited even younger. Tracy Lords, one of the most successful actresses in her time, was only 15 years old when she started. She used a fake birth certificate and a fake driver's license to claim that she was way older than she actually was, and starred in many movies. In the 80s, she was one of the highest paid adult film actresses at the time, earning over $1,000 per day. And this was all while she was only 16 years old. But when she turned 18, the authorities finally looked into the tip that she was actually underage, and they discovered that her credentials were completely fake. The owners of her video agency, Excitement Videos, were arrested, and any film that she starred in was now legally considered child porn. In court, the government prosecutors claimed that Tracy was manipulated by the industry and was drugged to do certain scenes that she did not want to do. However, in her autobiography, she claims that anyone who worked with her never once saw her take drugs, and that she was fully aware of her actions.
Bro, like, that is so fucked up, man. Like, all right, she was fucked up for doing that because she got those people in trouble. Now, it really is surprising to see that it took what, uh 3 years before the authorities really looked into it. And after they did look into it, they decided to arrest the producers rather than arrest the girl who faked everything. Bro, I don't see the logic in that. Their job was to get her documents, which they did. Who knew they were fake? They probably were good fakes, but the fact is they did their part. She did not. So why arrest them? And I do understand the concept that they put in place, that it's considered child porn. That's what he said. I agree with that because she was underage, even though a lot of people did not know that. And I think it's really unfair to arrest the producers for something they did not know about. I don't agree with that, but whatever, man.
But many of her co-workers and even her sister have heavily criticized the book for lying. Now, this is the most well-known case of underage actors in adult films, and probably the most controversial one, because it's kind of hard to decide who to really put the blame on. Was it Tracy's fault for lying to the company by using fake documents that looked real? Maybe the company genuinely did not know. Or should the movie company have done a better job at checking her background and making sure that she really was of age? Keep in mind, it was the 80s. The internet was still pretty new and wasn't very advanced. But that's not really even close to the worst of it, because one of the worst secrets in the industry easily is the human trafficking. Now, over 4.8 million people globally are sexually exploited, and more than 20% of those people are children. And many of these people are used solely for the purpose source of pornography. The #1 site where all of this content has been uploaded is Pornhub, the world's biggest porn site, the site that both you and me have been on before. And if you genuinely have the balls to say that you've never been on it, you're a goddamn liar. In December 2018, a 15-year-old girl randomly went missing after she left her home. The mom did find her daughter 10 months later, but she didn't find her through the authorities. She found her on Pornhub, where she was featured in over 50 videos. Dawn Gianni, a substitute teacher, was arrested after she posted videos of her assaulting her 14-year-old family member on the website. And the only reason the authorities knew about it was because one of her classmates saw the video online and reported it. Rose Kalemba was 14 years old when she was kidnapped by 2 men and R-worded for 12 hours straight. They uploaded the footage to the hub, and several months later, students at her school were sharing the link on MySpace and tagging her. Several versions of this video were uploaded to the site, with one of them having over 400,000 views. Now, over the course of 6 months, she reached out to Pornhub and explained multiple times that she was a minor and that this was assault, and begged them to take the video down, but never got a response. Until
Yeah, so when it comes on to Pornhub, guys, so just a little tip for those who want to make content like this or do shit like this and want to go on Pornhub. Now, I'm not going to tell anybody how to live their life, but I'm not going to support everything you do to live your life, you know what I'm saying? But you got to do you. But when you're uploading content to Pornhub, just upload it with the mindset that it's forever. It doesn't matter how much money you offer them or whatever you do, that video is not coming down. That happened to Mia Khalifa when she decided that, oh, she's going to leave the industry but still have her OnlyFans. I don't know how that works. But she begged them to take down the videos, and they did not. They did not remove the videos because, well, I think it's by right. Once you upload that video to Pornhub, they own the video. So keep that in mind.
Finally, she created a new email posing as a lawyer and demanded they take the video down or legal action would occur. And there are many, and I mean many, stories just like this. These are only a few. However, one of the most infamous situations that brought attention to this issue was one of Pornhub's partner channels, Girls Do Porn. The website's founder, Michael Pratt, created multiple fake modeling websites and invited women to apply for a modeling gig. He posted ads for these on Craigslist and specifically targeted college towns and wanted women who were 18 to 21 years old. Once the women applied, he then told them that the job they actually applied for was for porn and not modeling. Because, you know, you can't really recruit porn stars through Craigslist. At least I don't think so. Now, these girls were initially offered $2 to $6 grand for 30 minutes of shooting. Now, many of the girls, predictably, were hesitant to actually sign the contract and take the gig, even though it was good money for what seemed like very little labor. So Michael tried to manipulate the women and get them to sign contracts in very shady and straight up illegal ways. He hired reference girls, and their job was to earn the women's trust and try and deceive them into signing the contract by lying to them and withholding certain information. For every contract that these reference girls got signed, they earned $25 to $200. And Michael had these contracts written in a very, very complicated way to make them as confusing as possible. These contracts never once mentioned the website name Girls Do Porn and never mentioned the fact that they would be uploaded to the website, even though they were. So
Bro, like, that's just fucking disgusting, man, and just poor businessmanship. Like, why would you feel the need to lie, bro? Like, for an industry like porn, I don't see the need to lie about, like, really anything, especially in today's day and age. Like, a lot of people are so overly, I was gonna say sexified, but that's wrong. They're so overly sexual. I don't know if that's correct. But what I'm trying to say is that people are more engaged and aware and open to sex than ever before. But just recently, I was talking to some of my students, and they're like 12, and they know about masturbation, bro. Like, when I was their age, I did not know shit about that, bro. So I was so surprised to hear them talk about how much they do it, how it went their first time, shit like that, bro. I was speechless. But I'm just using that as reference to prove my point that now more than ever, people are more sexually active and open. So even before, I don't see the need why you would like, or I don't see the need for lying. If you're hiring for porn, just say you're hiring for porn. This is the money that you get paid per video. Take it or leave it. It's really, I don't, bro. I just think it all boils down to greed and downright dishonesty because he's making good money off it. So he's craving that gratification of pumping out content with hot college girls. Because really, that's what it's about. The opportunity to fuck all type of girls, pretty young, whatnot, and then the ability for him to make money off it. And I think that's what really consumed him, or he was just a fucked up human being from the start. You know what I'm saying? I don't know this guy, but let me know what you guys think.
Really try and push the girls to sign the contracts, they would get them extremely drunk or even get them to take hard drugs, sometimes against their will. And they also didn't let any of the girls keep any of the contracts. After the girls signed, they immediately got them to work. Instead of the initial filming for 30 minutes like they were promised, shooting lasted for a whole 9 hours straight. And the content that the girls were filming was so violent and rough that some of them started bleeding down there. The girls were often refused breaks, and the company employees even tried to get the girls to have sex with them, even though that is not part of the business. An employee even forced one of the girls to have sex with him at gunpoint. And even after all of that, more than half of the girls only received a fraction of the money that they were promised. They made up complete BS excuses to try and hog them out of the cash, like, oh, you look too old, oh, you don't look like your picture, oh, your acting wasn't good enough. Complete bullshit. The girls sued the parent company of Pornhub for $80 million, and this lawsuit was huge at the time. Pornhub has historically handled these situations terribly by providing close to no action for non-consensual and underage content being posted to their website. The way their website worked was similar to YouTube.
They don't
Almost
care, bro.
anyone can post to it, and while they may not have encouraged what necessarily was going on, they were profiting from it, which the parent company quite literally admitted to. It wasn't until the extreme rise of controversy and lawsuits that they finally changed their platform so that only verified users can post videos to their website. Any unverified videos or users were removed immediately. Their history with human trafficking is quite literally so bad that there is a whole Netflix documentary where porn stars talk about the connection from Pornhub to human trafficking, and I highly recommend. It's very much worth checking out. Now, this is all pretty terrible stuff, but how does all of this actually tie into the deaths of the porn stars that we've been seeing? Well, if you look at the death of almost every actress, they usually die from one of two things: drugs or taking their own life. There is a very high correlation of people who are sexually traumatized and abusing drugs and alcohol and self-harm. From a UCLA study, more than 50% of porn stars reported using marijuana, 1 in 5 reported using cocaine, and 1 in 5 reported using ecstasy or Xanax. And 1/3 also—
Hold on a second. Now, just by reading that, everybody would think, or most people think that, oh, marijuana is what's making them, go nuts or whatever. But in all honesty, bro, marijuana does not fuck you up like that, unless it's tainted with something, unless it's mixed with something. Marijuana does not affect you like that. Take it from somebody who comes from the land of weed, bro. You know Jamaica, that we're known for that. Marijuana, natural marijuana does not do you harm like that. It will make you relax or laugh. You would either be relaxed, mellow, or in a very high spirited mode, bro. But when it does other things to you, nah, something is up with that. Something is up with that. That is not real marijuana, bro. Because really and truly, marijuana is a medical or a medicinal herb. That's its true purpose. But we abuse it by smoking it. But even when you smoke it, even if you smoke lots of it, still doesn't do you that shit, bro. I know people who will smoke at least 13 spliffs a day. For real. And they're all right, bro. They're normal. The only thing is that they have that the appetite of a fucking pig, but that's about it. So I just wanted to point that out. Just by reading that, don't actually believe that marijuana is what really caused most of this. No, it's tainted marijuana. It's not natural marijuana.
Also said that they used hard drugs sometime within the last 3 months. And all of this is self-reported data, so those could be a lot higher stats. Many of these women are using drugs or self-harm to most likely cope with the trauma they experienced or to try and hide the shame.
Self-harm, yeah.
Hence why we see so many
do know there is a lot of that.
people taking their life. Riley Reid, one of the biggest names in the industry, talked about how her career basically completely ruined her personal life.
I've lost my whole family and it sucks. So a lot of times when people ask me if they should do porn, I tell them no. I tell them that it makes life really hard. It makes dating really hard. It makes your family life really hard.
So two of the clips that were shown in this video so far are the ones I was referring to. You said the one before with Riley Reid. Sorry, with Lana Rhodes, and this one with Riley Reid. So that's the information down below. You guys can check out those videos if you would like.
It makes intimacy hard. If you're putting yourself out there and the world is now judging you, you have to be okay with being shamed every day of your life. I don't even want to have children because I do porn, because I'm worried of the way that people will treat my child. With me personally, my mom was supportive in the beginning. She kind of just let me do whatever, that I think it was a good thing. I had a lot of freedom. As time progressed and I became successful, I started to feel like my mom was using me so that she could live a more luxurious lifestyle. When I started to set like these boundaries, not giving her money or things like that, it made our relationship a bit more difficult and almost toxic. And so it sucks. I don't have a mom anymore.
And that's naturally to be expected. And I'm not saying it's right, but it's naturally to be expected because she really did not like the fact that her daughter is doing porn, especially the fact that, you know, she was supportive of her throughout her upbringing. And to see that she, you know, took the easy way out and went to a life like that. She did enjoy the money that was coming in, so she turned a blind eye. She used that money that she was getting from her to like distract herself or try to make herself look good to her friends and other people that were watching, you know. But when it stopped and or more so it was controlled, she didn't like that because she couldn't continue doing the things that she liked, and she just had to like show her true feelings because, you know, she couldn't suppress it anymore. She's not getting what she wants. And you have a lot of parents like that. You know, rather than scolding your child, you suck up to whatever shit they're doing until shit hits the fan. You either abandon them or you lash out. Whenever you see your child, friend, or whatever doing something wrong, you as a good person in that person's life, your job is to call them out, not support that bullshit until something goes wrong. Her mom should have sat her down and have that conversation with her the moment she told her or she found out that she was either doing porn or she's going to do porn. I think that would have made a big difference in how her life and both of their relationships would have turned out. But that's just my opinion.
Anymore. I don't talk to her. I miss having a mom. I feel like you can't rewind and you can't go back. I don't have that relationship with her anymore. I don't ever think I will. And that bums me out. Bums me out a lot. I talked to my dad and he struggles with my job being in the industry. He's also religious. Recently I wanted to go visit him and he said that I can't go visit because his wife, my stepmom, doesn't want me there. I'm not allowed to go visit my dad anymore because my stepmom doesn't like that I do porn. But then he told me that when I was like, can we like go get coffee and like we could go like get breakfast, and he's like, I don't want to be seen in public with you. And that just hurt so bad, and it sucks. I lost my family. I don't talk to like my brothers or sisters. I think that they all kind of like try to take advantage of me and stuff, or they're just like, my dad don't want to be around me.
So even with all the horrific things going on in the industry, why work in it? Many of these women choose to work in this career. Most of them can also choose not to, right? Well, it's not that straightforward. Like I've said, many of the people who pick this path are extremely young. Listen, we don't tend to make the best decisions when we're young. They see the promise of money, fame,
When
and
we're
a
young.
rockstar lifestyle, and they immediately jump into it without a
Mhm.
second thought.
Run
Many
for
of these
it.
production companies target these young women for that specific reason. And lots of other people genuinely just do it for the money,
Right.
not necessarily because they want to. Like, for example, Brianna
Right.
Coppage was a teacher in St. Louis.
Because before he gives that example, I'm going to tell you something about me. When I was younger, I was open to do porn. I wanted to do porn because I was very young and I was struggling to, like, live a type of lifestyle that I wanted or afford certain things. Well, I guess that still would be the lifestyle. I came to the conclusion that I would be a porn star because I saw those people, spending all that money, luxury house, luxury cars, freedom, doing whatever shit they like, having fun with a bunch of women, whatnot. It really, as he said, when we're young, we don't make the wisest decisions, and that's true. And the production companies, they target those specific age gaps or age groups for that specific reason because they know how these young people think. And, it sucks. You have some people who consciously just made the decision because their only goal is to make money. You have people that were forced into it, whether by human trafficking or just straight up abuse. And, it sucks. And do I think it's something that will ever stop? No. Do I think it's something that should continue happening? No. But it's the world we live in, and it's just something we have to accept. And the most we can do is really try to make a difference in our community and with the people around us. If we can at least save one life each time, it does make a difference. But
Missouri, and really loved her job, but being a teacher was not enough to pay the bills. She started OnlyFans as a side hustle and ended up making more than double her salary as a teacher. She had no intention to leave her job as a teacher, but once the school found out about her account, she was fired. And she
Right.
then focused on doing OnlyFans full-time because it was her
They had
only
to
option.
fire
And
her.
it's a damn shame that she was only doing it to get the bills paid, not because she liked doing it. Now, the industry has improved over time and has learned from history. Many recruiters and production companies act much more ethically to their cast and crew. People who hire these actresses fully make sure that they are only doing it because they are passionate about the business and don't want them to make a mistake that they will later regret. And many popular websites have now started implementing much more control to prevent non-consensual content from being uploaded. However, the abuse and the
Still
consequences
remain, right?
still remain. Even if it has improved, it's still an industry that has way more cons than pros.
And that's why I said that I don't think it's something that's gonna stop. It's just the truth. But guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. My condolences goes out to those families and friends and loved ones who those porn stars belong to. At the end of the day, they're still human. They still have value. But if you guys are watching and you're not yet subscribed, now is a great time to do so. Be sure to drop a like on the video if you did, or drop a dislike if you did. And I'll see you guys in the next one.